Bismillah-ir-Rahman-ir-Rahim. Have you ever recited Surah Al-Fatiha during Salah and wondered about its profound meaning? What if I told you that these 7 verses hold the key to unlocking countless blessings in your life? Think about the moments when life feels overwhelming, when doubts creep in, and you find yourself searching for answers. Surah Al-Fatiha is not just a chapter in the Quran. It's a heartfelt dialogue between you and your Creator, a guide for your soul, and a reminder of Allah's eternal mercy. Imagine standing before Allah, reciting these words, Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in. You alone we worship, and you alone we ask for help. It's more than a declaration, it's a commitment to surrender your struggles and rely entirely on Him. This surah is called the Opening because it opens the door to Allah's wisdom, guidance, and peace. In today's discussion, we will dive deep into the hidden benefits of Surah Al-Fatiha, why it's called the greatest chapter of the Quran, how it can transform your relationship with Allah, and practical ways to implement its teachings into your life. Together, let's uncover the secrets of this surah and find out why it's the spiritual anchor we all need. Ready to embark on this enlightening journey? Let's begin. How often do we find ourselves lost in the routine of life, reciting Surah Al-Fatiha during Salah without truly reflecting on its meaning? Maybe it's during the chaotic mornings, the tiring afternoons, or the quiet moments before bed when you feel the weight of your struggles. You're not alone in this. Life has a way of testing us, whether through uncertainty, heartbreak, or moments of doubt, and in those moments, it's easy to question, am I truly being heard by Allah? Perhaps you've wondered if your salah has lost its depth, or if your connection with Allah has weakened. These feelings are natural. Many of us face this inner struggle, longing for a deeper relationship with Allah, yet feeling stuck in the same cycle. We seek peace, guidance, and clarity, but sometimes the answers seem just out of reach. Now, let me ask you, when you recite Surah Al-Fatiha, do you realize that it's a direct conversation with Allah? Every word is a plea, a promise, and a moment of divine connection. When you say, "Guide us to the straight path," you are asking Allah for direction in every aspect of your life. Surah Al-Fatiha is not just a chapter. It's a reminder that Allah is closer to you than your own heartbeat, listening to every whisper of your soul. What makes this surah even more remarkable is its ability to address every heart, no matter the burden it carries. Whether you're seeking forgiveness, clarity, or strength, Surah Al-Fatiha speaks to your specific need. It reassures you that you are not alone, that Allah's mercy is infinite and His guidance is always within reach. If you've ever doubted your worthiness of Allah's mercy or felt distant from His light, know this. The very act of reciting Surah Al-Fatiha is a step toward Him. It's a sign that He has already chosen you to come closer. Allah's plan for you is unfolding, even in ways you can't see yet. And this surah is the constant reminder that He is with you every step of the way. So, as we delve deeper into the power of Surah Al-Fatiha, remember that this journey is not just about understanding its words. It's about transforming your connection with Allah and finding the strength to navigate life's challenges with unwavering faith. Imagine a traveler lost in a vast desert. The sun is blazing, the sand burns beneath their feet, and the horizon stretches endlessly with no sign of relief. They clutch a map tightly in their hand, but the map is useless without knowing where they are or which direction to take. Just as the traveler begins to despair, they notice a compass hanging from their bag, a small, seemingly insignificant tool, but one that can guide them to their destination. Surah Al-Fatiha is like that compass. In the endless deserts of life, when we feel lost or uncertain, it points us toward the path of guidance, hope, and Allah's mercy. It reminds us that no matter how far we've wandered or how lost we feel, there is always a way back to Allah. This surah encapsulates everything we need to realign our hearts with our Creator. Let me share a story of a man named Zaid. Zaid was a hard-working individual who had everything: a stable job, a loving family, and a comfortable home. But inside he felt a void he couldn't explain. His prayers felt mechanical, and his heart felt distant from Allah. One day, after a particularly trying day, he sat in the mosque after Salah, overwhelmed with a sense of helplessness. An elderly man approached him and said, "Son, do you know the power of Surah Al-Fatiha?" Zaid, confused, replied, "Of course, I recite it every day." The man smiled and said, "But do you feel it? Surah Al-Fatiha is not just words, it's a conversation. Every time you say, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, you're praising the one who nurtures every creation. When you say, Iyaka nabudu wa iyaka nasta'in, you're declaring your dependence on Him. Have you ever paused to let these words fill your heart?" That moment changed Zaid's life. He began to recite Surah Al-Fatiha with intention, reflecting on its meaning. He saw how Maliki Yawmiddin reminded him of accountability, how Ihdinas Sirat al-Mustaqim became his heartfelt plea for guidance. Slowly, the void in his heart began to fill with peace, as if he had found the compass he didn't know he needed. Here's another metaphor. Think of a parent and a child. When a child falls and cries, the parent doesn't wait for the child to articulate their pain perfectly. The parent scoops them up, wipes their tears, and assures them of their love. Surah Al-Fatiha is like that embrace. Even if you don't know what to ask for or how to ask, its words encompass every need, every cry, and every hope. When we recite Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, we are reminded of Allah's boundless mercy, which is like the rain that revives the barren earth. No matter how dry or broken our hearts feel, His mercy has the power to renew and rejuvenate. And when we say, Ihdinas Sirat al-Mustaqim, it's like asking for a light to guide us through a dark forest. There's also a story of a woman named Aisha, who was going through immense hardship. Her husband had lost his job, her children were struggling in school, and her health was deteriorating. One night, she broke down in tears during Salah. As she recited Surah Al-Fatiha, she paused at the verse, Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in. It hit her like never before. She was declaring her trust in Allah alone. From that moment, she made Surah Al-Fatiha her daily refuge. Every time she recited it, she poured her heart into its words, and it gave her the strength to face her trials with patience and hope. Slowly, her circumstances improved, but more importantly, her faith deepened in ways she hadn't imagined. Surah Al-Fatiha is not just a chapter of the Quran. It's a lifeline, a compass, and a reminder that Allah is always near. Its power lies not only in its words, but in the connection it creates between you and your Creator. No matter where you are in life, this surah is a source of comfort, guidance, and light that can lead you out of darkness. As we continue, let's uncover the actionable ways you can harness the hidden benefits of Surah Al-Fatiha in your daily life. Surah Al-Fatiha holds transformative power when recited with intention and understanding. It's not just a part of our prayers. It's a gateway to connection, guidance, and spiritual fulfillment. Here are actionable steps to help you unlock the hidden benefits of this beautiful surah and integrate its wisdom into your daily life. 1. Recite with reflection. Many of us recite Surah Al-Fatiha multiple times a day in Salah, but how often do we pause to reflect on its meaning? Make it a habit to understand and internalize the words you're saying. Action. Step. Choose one verse each day and meditate on its meaning before or after Salah. For example, reflect on Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen as a reminder of Allah's blessings in your life. Tip. Use a translation or tafsir to deepen your understanding. Apps like Quran Companion or websites like Quran.com can be helpful resources. 2. Make it a personal dua. Surah Al-Fatiha is often called the opening because it opens a direct channel between you and Allah. Treat it as a personal supplication. Action. Step. After reciting Surah Al-Fatiha in Salah, add a heartfelt dua aligned with its themes. For example, after Ihdinas Sirat al-Mustaqim, ask Allah to guide you in specific areas of your life, whether it's a career decision, family matters, or personal growth. Tip. Personalize your duas and tie them back to the verses. This strengthens your connection and makes your supplication more meaningful. 3. Integrate into daily remembrance. Dhikr. Beyond Salah. Reciting Surah Al-Fatiha as a part of your daily dhikr can bring immense barakah to your day. Action. Step. Dedicate a specific time each day, perhaps after Fajr or before bed, to recite Surah Al-Fatiha slowly and intentionally. Use this time to express gratitude, seek forgiveness, or ask for guidance. Tip. Set a reminder on your phone or use a dhikr app to maintain consistency. 4. Use it as a source of healing. Prophet Muhammad referred to Surah Al-Fatiha as a cure. Its verses can provide emotional, spiritual, and even physical healing. Action. Step. Whenever you or a loved one feels unwell or overwhelmed, recite Surah Al-Fatiha with the intention of seeking Allah's mercy and healing. Place your hand over the affected area and recite it 7 times, as recommended in Hadith. Tip. Combine this practice with sincere dua, asking Allah for relief and comfort. 5. Teach its meaning to your family. The power of Surah Al-Fatiha multiplies when shared. Teaching it to your children or loved ones can create a ripple effect of understanding and connection. Action. Step. Spend time discussing one verse of Surah Al-Fatiha with your family each week. Make it interactive by sharing stories or examples of how the verse applies to everyday life. Tip. Use creative methods like visual aids, storytelling, or role-playing to engage children. 6. Incorporate it in difficult moments. When life feels overwhelming, Surah Al-Fatiha can serve as a reminder of Allah's presence and mercy. Action. Step. When faced with a challenge, pause and recite Surah Al-Fatiha with focus. Let Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim remind you of Allah's boundless mercy, and Iyaka na'budu wa Iyaka nasta'in reassure you of His support. Tip. Keep a pocket-sized Quran or a Quran app handy for moments when you need spiritual grounding. 7. Write it in your heart. To truly benefit from Surah Al-Fatiha, its lessons must live in your heart, not just on your tongue. Action. Step. Create a journal dedicated to reflecting on its themes. Write down how Maliki Yawmiddin influences your decisions, or how Sirat al-Mustaqim inspires you to stay on the straight path. Tip. Review your entries regularly to track your spiritual growth and understanding. 8. Seek guidance for daily decisions. Surah Al-Fatiha's plea for guidance is universal. Use it as a tool to seek clarity in both major life decisions and daily choices. Action. Step. Before making a significant decision, recite Surah Al-Fatiha. and ask Allah to lead you to the best outcome. Trust that He will guide you. Tip: follow up with istikhara prayer for additional clarity and direction. 9. Recite in gratitude and joy. Surah Al-Fatiha is not just for times of need. It's also a celebration of Allah's blessings. Action. Step: on days when you feel particularly blessed or happy, recite Surah Al-Fatiha as an expression of gratitude. Reflect on Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen and list the specific blessings you're thankful for. Tip: share this practice with loved ones to spread the habit of gratitude. 10. Commit to memorizing its deeper tafsir understanding. Surah Al-Fatiha on a deeper level enhances its impact on your life. Action. Step: dedicate time each week to studying its tafsir. Learn how scholars like Ibn Kathir and Al-Qurtubi have interpreted its verses and how these lessons apply today. Tip: pair this with attending Quranic study circles or online courses for additional insights. By implementing these practical steps, you'll find that Surah Al-Fatiha becomes more than just a recitation. It will transform into a living, breathing part of your spiritual journey. As you apply its lessons, you'll discover a profound connection with Allah and a renewed sense of purpose and peace in your daily life. Life is full of emotional and spiritual struggles that test our resilience and faith. During these moments, Surah Al-Fatiha serves as a guiding light, reminding us of Allah's infinite wisdom, mercy, and presence in our lives. Let's explore how this remarkable chapter helps us navigate life's challenges and transforms them into opportunities for growth and reflection. Finding solace in Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. One of the most comforting aspects of Surah Al-Fatiha is the reminder of Allah's boundless mercy. The repetition of Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim assures us that no matter how difficult life becomes, Allah's mercy encompasses everything. Example: imagine feeling overwhelmed by failures, guilt, or setbacks. Reciting Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim can shift your perspective, reminding you that Allah's mercy is greater than any mistake or hardship you face. It's a gentle invitation to forgive yourself and keep striving. Practical application. Whenever you feel burdened, pause and recite these words. Let their meaning penetrate your heart, reminding you that Allah's mercy is a constant, even in the darkest moments. Seeking guidance through Ihdinas Sirat al-Mustaqim. When life feels uncertain and you're struggling to make decisions or find your way, the verse, "Guide us to the straight path," offers clarity and direction. It's not just a request for guidance. It's an acknowledgement of our dependence on Allah for all matters, big and small. Story of relevance. Consider a time when someone faced a major life decision, choosing a career, navigating relationships, or overcoming personal loss. Turning to Ihdinas Sirat al-Mustaqim in their prayers allowed them to find peace, knowing Allah would guide them to the best outcome. Practical application. When grappling with uncertainty, use this verse as a dua. Trust that Allah's guidance will illuminate the right path, even if it's not immediately clear. Overcoming feelings of isolation. Surah Al-Fatiha is a universal recitation connecting billions of Muslims across the world. This connection reminds us that we are never truly alone. Reflection. In moments of loneliness or despair, reciting Al-Fatiha can feel like joining a chorus of believers. Each word strengthens your bond with the global Muslim community and, more importantly, with Allah. Practical application. If you ever feel isolated, imagine the countless people reciting these same words, sharing the same struggles and aspirations. This shared experience is a source of strength and unity. Transforming pain into growth. Hardships often feel insurmountable, but Surah Al-Fatiha reframes them as opportunities for growth. The acknowledgement of Allah as Maliki Yawmiddin reminds us that this life is temporary, and ultimate justice and reward lie with Allah. Example: a person enduring financial struggles might feel hopeless. However, reflecting on Allah's ownership of the Day of Judgment reminds them to focus on their eternal journey rather than immediate challenges. Practical application: use the recitation of Maliki Yawmiddin as a way to realign your focus. Let it remind you that worldly difficulties are temporary, and perseverance will be rewarded in the hereafter. Letting go of control with Iyaka Nabudu wa Iyaka Nasta'in. Sometimes, the hardest struggles arise when we try to control everything in our lives. This verse serves as a powerful reminder to surrender to Allah, acknowledging that we worship Him alone and seek help only from Him. Story of relevance. A student overwhelmed by exams once shared how repeating this verse gave them the peace they needed to focus. They stopped worrying about results and trusted Allah to guide their efforts. Practical application. When you feel anxious or overwhelmed, recite this verse slowly. It's a declaration of faith and a release of unnecessary burdens, allowing you to trust in Allah's plan. Turning grief into connection with Allah. Grief can feel isolating, but Surah Al-Fatiha teaches us that every hardship is an opportunity to deepen our relationship with Allah. Each verse provides comfort, assurance, and a path back to Him. Reflection. During a time of loss, a person might recite Al-Fatiha as a way to feel Allah's presence and seek His comfort. This practice transforms sorrow into a chance for spiritual growth and connection. Practical application. Dedicate time to recite Al-Fatiha when grieving. Let its words remind you of Allah's mercy and the promise of better days ahead. By turning to Surah Al-Fatiha during emotional challenges, you not only find comfort, but also uncover the strength to face life's trials with resilience and faith. Let these verses be your guide, reminding you that every difficulty carries the seeds of growth, wisdom, and spiritual connection. Next, let's explore how to build consistency and momentum in applying these lessons daily. Consistency is the key to unlocking the transformative power of Surah Al-Fatiha. Reciting it daily in your prayers is already a routine for most Muslims, but with intentional focus, this practice can evolve into a profound spiritual habit that strengthens your connection to Allah and fosters personal growth. Start small. Build gradually. Success begins with manageable steps. If you're not already reflecting deeply on the meanings of Surah Al-Fatiha during your salah, start by dedicating one prayer a day to mindful recitation. Practical step. Focus on one verse at a time. For instance, during Fajr, concentrate on Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, contemplating Allah's boundless mercy and how it applies to your life. Gradually expand this reflection to include other verses in subsequent prayers. Consistency. Tip. Set reminders or intentions before each prayer to engage in reflective recitation. Over time, this will become second nature. Create a dedicated reflection. Time-building momentum requires making space for dedicated spiritual reflection. Allocating time outside of prayer to delve deeper into the meanings and benefits of Surah Al-Fatiha can amplify its impact on your daily life. Practical step. Choose a quiet moment, perhaps after Fajr or before bed, to read a tafsir, interpretation, of Surah Al-Fatiha. Reflect on how its teachings align with your current circumstances and challenges. Pro tip. Keep a journal to document insights and moments of clarity that arise from this practice. Revisit your notes periodically to track your spiritual growth. Integrate its lessons into daily life. Consistency isn't just about repetition, it's about application. Use the teachings of Surah Al-Fatiha to guide your actions, thoughts, and decisions throughout the day. Example: when faced with a difficult decision, recall Ihdinas Sirat al-Mustaqim and seek Allah's guidance. Trust that He will lead you to the straight path. Practical step: set daily intentions based on the themes of Surah Al-Fatiha, such as showing gratitude, seeking forgiveness, or embodying mercy. Accountability and community support. Staying consistent is easier when you're not alone. Share your journey with family or friends, encouraging one another to remain steadfast in reflecting on and applying Surah Al-Fatiha's lessons. Practical step: form a small group or join an online community focused on understanding the Quran. Share insights and motivate one another to deepen your connection to Allah through His words. Celebrate progress. Momentum is sustained by recognizing and celebrating small wins. Acknowledge the peace and clarity you gain as you integrate the meanings of Surah Al-Fatiha into your life. Reflection. Exercise. At the end of each week, take a moment to reflect on how the consistent practice of reciting and contemplating Surah Al-Fatiha has impacted your mindset, relationships, and spirituality. By starting small, creating reflection routines, applying its teachings, and seeking support, you'll build consistency and momentum that transforms Surah Al-Fatiha into a living part of your daily life. This practice will not only bring you closer to Allah, but also help you achieve long-term spiritual growth. Let's now conclude by tying everything together with a call to action that inspires you to take the next step. As we come to the end of this journey through the hidden treasures of Surah Al-Fatiha, let's take a moment to reflect on the immense power and beauty encapsulated in these 7 verses. Surah Al-Fatiha is more than just a chapter we recite in our daily prayers. It is a roadmap to success, a source of healing, and a direct connection to Allah's infinite mercy and guidance. Why Surah Al-Fatiha matters every day. In times of confusion or hardship, when you feel lost or overwhelmed, remember the promise of Surah Al-Fatiha. When you say, Ihdinas Sirat al-Mustaqim, you are asking Allah to guide you, and that guidance is never denied. It's a reminder that every challenge you face is part of His greater plan, designed to bring you closer to Him. Reflect on how this surah empowers you to see your life's struggles as stepping stones to something greater. It teaches patience through Maliki Yawmiddin, mercy through Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, and trust through Iyaka Na'budu wa Iyaka Nasta'in. Take the next step today. So, what can you do right now to bring Surah Al-Fatiha to life in your heart and actions? Action 1. Dedicate a few moments each day to study and reflect on its meanings. Action 2. Make a conscious effort to recite it with sincerity in every salah, contemplating its profound message. Action 3. Apply its lessons to your daily challenges, using them to strengthen your faith and resolve. A final word of encouragement. Remember, Surah Al-Fatiha is Allah's personal gift to you, a direct communication that bridges your heart to His infinite wisdom. Embrace it as your daily companion, and you'll find your worries eased, your faith deepened, and your purpose illuminated. As the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "The greatest surah in the Quran is Surah Al-Fatiha." Let this powerful chapter guide you in your prayers, decisions, and interactions. The next time you recite Surah Al-Fatiha, do so with intention and an open heart, knowing that Allah hears every word, understands every longing, and answers every call. Your journey with Surah Al-Fatiha starts today. Are you ready to unlock its hidden benefits and transform your life?